All right, try it again. Welcome everybody to the Tuesday, May 28th Facilities Committee. I'm your chair, JP Prego. We have Melanie Cunningham, our board president, Keith McCarrick, committee member, and our director of facilities operations, Craig Howard, Trina Scharschmidt, committee member, and Dr. Alan Roach, our superintendent. And in the cheap seats back there is Peggy Pennypacker, board member. So I'll start with looking for a motion for approval of the minutes from April 22nd.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Excellent. All right, let's jump to old business. Tell us about the fencing, Craig.
So we are updated on Marlboro fencing. The playground fencing is done. We're currently working on now the split rail fencing.
I saw them working on that on Friday, tearing it down.
Yeah, so we're going to hopefully have that done pretty soon. And next week, at the end of next week, we're looking to start at the 4 or 5. So we're moving right along pretty well on the fencing.
So when would the 4 or 5?
Then I won't give you ETA on that till next week.
Okay.
I can shoot an email out to everyone.
Yeah.
I can shoot an email out to everyone to give you guys an update on when everything is going to be done over there.
Okay. Everything's smooth with the playground? so
Everything's
far?
smooth at the playground. Well, you know, my eyes and Dr. Howell's eyes are a little bit different when we walked it down. So it's a couple of things I had to address with them that they're tightening it up. But other than that, we're good. Just
Okay.
minor stuff.
Good.
That's all it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Marbury Sinkhole Project, as they're working on that now as we speak. I got a chance to catch up with Roy today. We're going to have to put a liner in there as well for our PVC piping. I also got to get with the county, Montgomery County.
This is the one down by the road?
Yes, the one down by the road, yes.
Okay, so I'm still not.
So, of course, when you dig things up, you see more, okay?
Of course.
At a house like that.
Yeah, so, we have a lot of things underneath there that's rotted out, all of the piping. This is going to be something that I'm going to have to bring back to facilities once I get more information. For right now, we're able to stop and figure out what's going on and how do we address it. So what Roy is doing right now, he's taking care of what Roy is being paid for. He's taking the pipe off, filling the pipe, putting it back in, all that good stuff.
So Roy is Hildebrand?
Yes,
Okay.
That's the owner. So I'm going to, he's shooting me a number of a gentleman over here at Hanover Township who does our lining, who does it before for us on previous projects. So once I talk to him tomorrow, the gentleman didn't get to me today, he's going to give me a call tomorrow, and we'll have that exchange, and we're going to meet out there tomorrow. And we're going to, because now what me and Roy is afraid about is that what do we own and what does Montgomery County own? That's the conversation
So
we're
on
going
the
to
top
have.
part of the driveway?
Yes.
Like where the,
Yeah.
the right of way?
So that leads into the park to where they cut, I know our trees and stuff like that. I do know that for a fact because I met the gentleman. So I gotta have a conversation because this is only one piece of pipe that's rotted out. I mean, one piece of pipe that's rotted out. I have pictures, it's all rotted out. And we have to find out what we take responsibility for and what they take responsibility for. So that's the issue that I have to bring back to the board. And I would like to meet sometime in August to have that discussion again, to move this, figure out how I'm going to move into the fall, because this is something that we're going to move forward with. I want to get it done before the winter, you know, because we're not digging in the winter. We're going to have to wait until the following year, of course, and do all that good stuff.
Could be something we might be able to reline?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And that's where, I don't want to say too much without speaking
Okay,
to the
that's fine.
township and speaking, you know, but for right now, everything is moving forward with Marlboro.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
All the work that we're doing right now will be copacetic, it'll.
You know it, sir.
Until-
You know it. You know, that's the only way I work.
It's not gonna be
That's the only way I
useful.
work. Yeah, that's the only way I work. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I have to ask.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
You
Yes,
don't ask,
sir.
you'll have somebody else will ask. you.
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you ask?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This third thing we have on agenda is Valley Soccer lights installation on the soccer fields. Do we have a representative at Valley Soccer? I know wanted to talk. Is there anyone?
Yeah.
We have three of us
Okay.
here, so.
Okay. However you want to do it, how you want them to come on up?
Sure,
You want to
come on
have a
up.
conversation, or the floor is you guys, the floor is yours. We put it on a meeting for you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you taking the time.
Of course.
Yeah.
John Matta, Valley Soccer, facilities.
Kate Zetterline, president of Valley Soccer.
Who's my neighbor, by the way?
Yes.
I'm Cheryl.
And many of you guys.
Yep.
Intramural coordinator with Valley Soccer.
Okay.
So first of all, thank you for letting us use the facilities. for our travel and mural programs. It's been wonderful. As you may know, we practice there in the fall primarily. And in that fall season, things get dark pretty quickly. We rent lights, put them out on trailer. We're looking to install poles and donate that work to the district to install permanent lights at the middle school soccer fields in between the two fields. So if you picture where the benches are, we basically put some poles at either end of the field and then put lights out against both fields there. General questions on layout or thoughts there? We did get a proposal back from RJ Electric, knowing that that is who the district has partnered with in the past. We wanted to use somebody that the district had used and was comfortable with. The plan from their side would be to run power from the power shed out in that general area, trench over to that poles, install poles, and then put lights up for that purpose. 100% funded by Valley Soccer. We're simply looking for permission to move forward and also asking what are the next steps in that process.
And obviously any 701 forms or anything like that for the, grant or gifts and donation to the district and so forth, what we need to fill out, what kinds of attachments we need with that, scope of work, et cetera. And obviously we want to make sure you're comfortable with the layout and, us then being able to utilize the lights once we've installed them for the purposes of continuing to do practices out there in the evenings during the fall season.
So do you know what shed they're talking about?
Yes.
The power?
They're talking about the shed that's right there, where you're coming into the 405, I believe, to the right-hand side. Oh, no, I'm sorry, the middle school, I apologize.
Yeah.
So you're coming into the middle school all the way to the back where Dave keeps his little toys at, is what I like to call it.
Okay.
Yes, is that the small shed that we're discussing? Because that's the only shed that's out there, I believe. at the
No,
middle
there's
school.
the, like, garage
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
shed
Yeah.
by softball.
Yeah,
that's
there's
the
a power
closest power.
distribution
That's
shed.
where the softball lights are hooked up.
So is that, so,
You know
I'm
that
trying to picture.
container that's there, that gray container, next to that is that garage shed?
Yes, the garage shed.
That's where the softball electric stuff is.
Where the garage shed is at?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, yes, okay, yes.
You guys should know we want to say yes to you guys. We like Valley Soccer, but there are a couple things we definitely needed to consider, like in accepting a gift, we also accept what comes with that. So then it's ours and then we maintain it. There are different things to consider and that's partly why we wanted you here. None of us were like down with Valley Soccer.
No.
So we love you guys. We appreciate you wanting to do this. But there were definitely things details we needed to understand before moving ahead. In your opinion, is that a viable place to put this? And you,
Well, when me and RJ Electric was talking about it, it's a couple of things have to happen there. We have to upgrade some things on the electrical side, you know what I mean, to sustain the electric that they're looking for.
okay.
Timers for different things in that aspect, and rather than cutting it off and on because things will be forgotten, is more components into that, just as far as just putting up the lights and running wires.
Right.
We have to make sure that everything is safety, on the safety aspect. We have to build another box in there just for their lights, for Valley Soccer's lights, so it won't bother anything, with the school or outside or anything like that. So that's some of the things that we did discuss with Valley Soccer, with RJ Electric.
Okay.
Is it something that could be done? Yes. But as far as that particular part of the scope, that could be done, but it has to be, we have to also build what I call a trough. So when the electric comes down, it's gonna sit, what I call it's a trough. It hooks up to the electric box and it comes down. We wanna know if that's gonna be underground or if that's something we're gonna have.
Demo around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's another concern that we have. And if we go underground, that means we're building trenches. We're building the trench, the lights, and have to go underground and then come up. And all that has to be insulated.
Okay.
Yes, definitely, if any water or anything like that.
Yeah, and the proposal that RJ had provided, it was for trenching, so it was gonna run underground.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then conduit up through the pole
Yeah, and
to the
that's-
disconnect.
Yeah. So they, I mean, they had their bases covered very well. When I walk down with RJ Electric, they know what they're doing when it comes to that. So that part of the installation part wouldn't be a problem as far as, you know.
So Valley Soccer would fund these things to be put in place?
That
Is that what I'm
upgrade,
hearing? I just want to be clear.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good question.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then if we're finished with that, maintenance is a concern that we had, like future maintenance. So repairs and things like that, that would fall on us. So also the mowing around, is that more expensive for us?
It's
Is
a
that?
little more expensive, it's just something, you know, just fall around something. Yes. And plus, once they build the trench and put the dirt down, the grass grows back up on them.
And we are looking at it at the ends of the field in case for some reason you did want to rotate the fields around too, to go in the other direction, to turn them 90 degrees. Not that you can really with the swale that's somewhat there unless you did some other remediation type work of the surface there, but to offer that so that there was flexibility if you had to line the fields in a different direction than what they're currently lined and have been lined for years.
So the two questions I had, so I know when we practice there in the fall, we have 4 lights set up with 4 lights on each, so we're 16 lights. Are we just talking 1 light tower in the middle of those 2 fields, or we're doing 2 now?
Right now, the intent was to do 2 light towers
Okay.
at the ends of each field, or near the ends of each field, along that center line where the benches are.
Okay.
I can send over a drawing, we provided one, I said I didn't bring it with me, so
And we have a total of 4 lights that we had utilized previously at Phillips Field when we were over on Hendricks Road.
Right.
And so we basically put 2 on each pole with the possibility of maybe adding a 3rd one or a 4th one if so needed in the future, but not necessary to get us started.
Okay.
So would these lights match, and this might be a dumb question, but I'll ask it anyway. Would these lights match, like, you know how we did all of the LEDs,
Right.
now everything all matches?
Right.
I love this question.
Yeah.
This is a good question.
Well, that way, you know, we don't want to, in whatever, however many years it takes till they blow out and we need to replace them, do they match what our fields already have? I don't know if that's a valid question or not, but,
I don't know.
They are LED lights. They've been used for 1 fall season. They've been in storage since. We vacated the fields back in 2020, or during COVID, 21, 22. And there are 4 of them. So they don't match exactly what you currently have on site. So they are slightly different, but they are LEDs, so they are, you know,
I'm just
better
thinking about
better
the
energy
maintenance.
efficient.
our
They're more energy
maintenance
efficient.
at some point then when they need maintenance.
I'm
that's
willing to
where
bet
I
they're
was
better
going.
than the softball lights.
Oh, sure. You can say that.
I'm just saying.
I have a question, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. The biggest thing is they say that it helps me learning the policy and different things and how gifts are given. Coming from the private sector, when the gift is given, a lot is being inspected. I've seen a lot of doors behind back into where they were promised things and different things like that, and they infiltrated the promises. So my question to you guys, how did this benefit us as a district, not just Valley Soccer? How does it help the other kids at the middle school or the high school? How does this benefit us? Because if it was another field, you guys say, I'm building you guys a soccer field. We know how that's benefiting the district. How is this benefiting the district? I know how it benefits Valley Soccer, but the question is, how does it benefit the district?
Very fair question. It provides lights for anyone that wants to use it, whether it's different revenue to the district, renting out to other clubs, or whether it's your flexibility in how you would use them or do night games and do different things on that turf. And at the end of the day, it is your infrastructure and yours to choose how to, where is the benefit to you. Obviously, you're probably not looking to practice late in the evenings for your middle school teams, but it does allow you to do that. And like I said, it's probably more the other revenue stream from allowing other clubs to rent the space in the evenings.
Is this going to extend your rental times or seasons or anything?
No, right now it's the exact same timeline and the estimates so we were asked to provide a cost estimate for, right, what are the kilowatt hours, what would this cost the district to run these? We never intended to go in different hours. It was just to alleviate the annual cost of the rental and we felt that we could put that money to good use and invest it into the community rather than just give it to a rental company year on year.
Yeah, it costs us about $8,000 each for 3 months to rent those 4 stands plus the diesel fuel that was needed. So also, this will also help reduce noise as well by having the LED lights on instead of having the humming of 4 generators running for 3 hours each night out there Monday through Thursday generally.
Sucking in all the
So
fumes.
it will help. It will help that aspect as well.
There was one thing, when we were going back and forth like we was beforehand, there was one line that we saw in there, I think it's kind of what you were saying, Craig, that, you know, the Valley was then looking for like a 10-year lease or something like on the field to use it. Where does that come into play here? What's the expectation there?
I mean, I think what we're looking for is, right, it is a significant dollar investment, right? It is around 20,000, potentially a little bit more if we hit rock or whatnot. The overall annual cost looks to be about 100, 150 a year in terms of electrical use for the entire season. So we were simply looking to, if we are as a club going to put our investment here and spend the money here, we wanted some level of agreement that said we're allowed to use the space kind of by first intent, right? Obviously, we'd submit the forms, do everything we need to do year on year, but we would kind of have right of first refusal in case you are looking to allocate the time to other clubs, just so that our money isn't, right, just like you're looking for, what does the district get out of it? We're also looking to make sure that we don't just.
You give us fields with lights and then we rent them to 5 other thousand
Exactly.
people.
Exactly.
I got it.
Then it's also looking at it from and then the number is very negotiable, but looking at it in terms of, if we're investing this money, then the district can agree to pay for the electrical costs for some period of time that feels reasonable in relation to the investment, such that we don't spend the money and then all of a sudden we're getting bills 2 years later, right, unexpectedly. So whatever that time frame is, very negotiable, we just put something on paper.
We just had to throw something out there.
Yeah.
So it's just a commitment that we would continue to give you first use of the fields, you know,
Yeah.
right of
Like
refusal, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it's not taking away the field rental fees for you for the next 10 years or anything.
Correct.
You know, this is simply a benefit that, it's a small benefit that you get out by doing this donation.
Yep.
Is that different from what we heard the first time? I thought whatever we got said they wanted some such and such dollar amount off of the rental fee for 10 years or something. So is what you're saying different than that?
I believe it was no electrical cost passed forward. I don't believe it was the $400 fee waived. I bet it had been probably about a month or two since I've read it, but again, whatever we tend to agree to, again, we were asked to put something on paper, we put something on paper, but
Yeah, I think that's part of the challenge, is this a donation, or is it a contract partnership? Because then we're out of a different policy. If we're into a donation, where you're taking something on, when you're getting into a contract where you get this and we get that, and we have, then that's not really a donation according to what policy says. So that's a much greater, I think, conversation, and we would like to donate. One other group donated the diesel lights. They bought them, they couldn't have them more use, so like, just take them. And it's a different conversation of a donation, no strings attached. We step back and you do your thing, versus what it sounds like more, because I did, Trina, I agree, I thought there was definitely something in there that talked about rental fees and or that piece, which is more of a, are we entertaining a contract or a partnership of some sort? So that to me is a different lens on what, as I read the policy a while ago, into a donation. Someone passes away, they donate a bench, or they donate something where we're taking on maintenance of that or something like that. But this is more of an ongoing relationship, partnership that I think the district has to
Because does he want that first priority use, then negate it as a gift?
Yeah, and I understand from their standpoint, I'm not naive to that. I'm just a matter, I mean, I have to protect the district's interests. I'm struggling with very much Mr. Howard's question about, well, what's the benefit? I mean, I can see a benefit to having lights, but I don't know what that, would do in the long run for the students. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I would be cautious in terms of the ability to have the property and have control of it, much like we bought the wood property for potential purposes, and what that, the property is, it's a hot commodity, and it's one of the things that we have that we need to be cautious at, but that's the board making that decision.
Yeah, I mean, really, the benefit to the school is you have additional lighted space for evening events to be held at, you know, however you choose to use that surface.
I wish Bobby had stayed.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would have been helpful.
Yes.
That would have been really helpful.
But is that in lieu of when that field would be, excuse me, available if Valley Soccer wasn't already on there on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, or whatever the time frame is?
Yeah.
You know, how much time is that actually available? And is that a need of ours at the current time? I don't.
Right.
I think that's part of the question.
Yeah, I think that is part of the question.
Go ahead, Ben.
Kind of tied into that, is there any other field space in the district that would be amenable to you? Say, 4 or 5 buildings?
That's limited,
Right now, so in looking at the community as a whole, you're likely aware, we lack green rectangles, right? We've got a fair amount of baseball fields, a fair amount of softball fields, but we lack the rest as a community. And unfortunately, the park systems around us really haven't supported that. They've been obviously more into the nature space as opposed to the sports space.
And pickleball.
Camelot has done a wonderful job, has a very nice facility, and outside of that, there isn't much within the area. We've definitely scoured around and looked. The 4-5 center, unfortunately, is a bit small from a practice standpoint. We could certainly entertain it, but right now with the 2 baseball fields, there's not a lot of green in the middle to practice on. And then that lower field is obviously a baseball field as well. And then the field down toward, as you're coming toward Camelot, is not quite field, right? It's more of open space. We've kind of gone around to different parts of the district, different areas, and there really isn't nice, flat, green space. I mean, anything we can do as a community to help facilitate that, I think it's definitely a need. If you look at some of our neighboring communities, they have probably 2 to 3 times what we have in terms of athletic facility. Not district relied, but community-based.
So,
Hence the reason why we're constantly renting the middle school fields and Marlboro for space.
Yeah, we'd actually looked at Marlboro a little bit too, to put a secondary field up where the Junipers used to be. The cost of that was also very significant and would be almost a double investment, but to stand up the field and to get the lights there. And the return on investment from our standpoint as a club really wasn't there to spend that much into that property.
At 4 or 5, that upper field, right off the driveway.
Yep.
If those ball fields weren't there, would it be big enough?
Potentially, yes. I don't have the math in my head of exactly how wide it is. From a length standpoint, likely, I believe it's pretty much a football field because they practice middle school football there. So I believe it's wide enough, but I haven't gone out
It
there.
used to be the high school field when
Yeah.
4 or
Don't they
5
play
was
field
the high
hockey
school.
there? Or they used to play field hockey there?
Not anymore.
No, we won't.
Okay.
I was funny, Ms. Peg said, Ms. P said that, because that's what I was gonna maybe throw out there as an option. Maybe the 4 or 5 is something we can revisit. Because I have a lot of space at 4 or 5. We have a lot of space at the district at the 4th top that's not being utilized, especially that back end area. Maybe that's something we can have a conversation about, maybe building that area up to where it can be more conducive to rent that particular side or that area out in the back. I just, something I'm just throwing out there. You know, so we are doing a fencing project at the 4 or 5 this summer, so that's gonna be a better layout, is what I like to say. I don't know, I don't know, maybe
So I think-
maybe we should look at the 4 or 5 as an option as well. I know the middle school is a very touchy situation. Me coming new to the district, 6 years it's been built. You know, I know we try to use that as a flagship for a lot of different things, and I know just from what I've seen the year that I've been here, the fields are being used a lot. And a lot of, you know, Rustin, me and Bobby having conversations to where not athletics is facilities invested back in the field. My budget take care of the fields. So what I would like to do is try to exhaust as much, like Ms. P said, where we can look at to see, okay, well, we have this option as well. I don't know, just something I'm just throwing out there because, like you said, the last thing we want to do is, and like Dr. Allen said, it's up to the board, is, you know, turn you guys down for something that, because I've been working very closely with Valley Soccer the last past year and making sure that, you know, especially with JP, making sure that we're making you guys comfortable in what you guys need, because you guys are a sister program to the high school, the middle school, and different things of that aspect, and I enjoy and appreciate that, especially for a dad who plays sports, and and as a child in sports. So at the end of the day, I get all that. I guess, you know, we just have to maybe try, I don't know, maybe a plan B, A, B, C, and D. You know, I'm an A, B, C, and D guy. I like to have three options because it gives us more of a broader picture to look at. I mean, that's just my opinion. That's just for me. But, you know.
So my 2 cents on this, and you know, full disclosure, I've been with Valley Soccer since my daughter could kick a ball, so I want to say yes to this too. However, I do have a job here, and you know, I have to do my duty as a board member to do the right thing for the school. So I think we need to go back, and again, maybe Craig, this is you just do maybe some investigation work and see maybe,
I'll go
let's
with
come
it.
up with other suggestions is number one. That's one thing. Another thing is because I had emailed Mr. Kurzweg about this, and I wasn't totally clear on his answer, so maybe we can get him to one of the meetings here
Yeah.
where he can give us a better idea of if we put lights on these fields, would we be able to use them more or something like that?
Does that have a soccer opportunity for us?
Right.
Right.
I don't
And
want
then-
to drag it out too much, but like, were you thinking to have this for next fall?
That would be the ideal. I mean, either way, as long as we get permission to use the field to get in the fall, we'll either be spending a rental fee or we would be over the summer putting the money towards an install.
Because at this point, it's
So we're not
going
using
to be held
Right, we're
up
not gonna have the
for-
answer in
it-
September, we're gonna get it next
September.
fall. Yeah.
But we also,
That's
it's a big decision, so.
Right, we're not,
When
can't
we,
rush it.
when we bring the lights out, they're normally put out at the fields that last week of August, because believe it or not, by 8:30 at night, 9 o'clock at night, it's really dusk and it's difficult to see for the older age groups that are out there practicing. So we normally have the lights out and deployed that last weekend of August, and we keep them out there until the middle of November.
What's the time estimate for RJ to do the installs and everything?
RJ looked at, when I spoke to Rob said about, he said he's looking at about maybe, he wanted to say a 2-week timeline due to the fact of the digging and different things of that aspect. Of course, mounting the box and doing things like that is easy. It's just more so the digging part and then making, covering everything back up, conduit, all that good stuff. So he said roughly about 2 weeks.
Do you guys still have to figure out if you have to expand your electrical panel then
Well,
to accommodate us?
you guys will have it separate,
Okay.
totally separate. It'll be totally separate. I don't want nothing tapping off the school. I told Rob it has to be totally separate. Once you start tapping off, it's a problem.
Yeah.
The next
We have
facilities meeting
accountability.
is scheduled right now for September.
Right.
So it sounds like the fall will be as the fall was this past year, unless I'm reading the tea leaves wrong. In terms of getting additional information, Mr. Kurzweig, to the next meeting. Is
And
there-
I think you're going to decide as a group too, if I understand why you want the fields, you know, up first, if you're putting this, you know, money into it, but at the same time, like Dr. Rim said, that puts us then in a different category of it's no longer a gift, it's a contract.
Honestly, I think this is a conversation that the board may maybe out of following up. Is this something that you want to entertain when you have all the answers that you have?
Mhm.
And obviously, it becomes for facilities, but this is personally, I think it's a bigger topic than a single committee recommendation move forward to the board in a bang-bang type of situation. It's got to
Well, I
impact.
want the full board to have a conversation with our legal, Kyle, just to clarify that what we're doing is correct and doesn't
And we're doing it the right way.
Yeah.
hinder either of us.
Yeah, I'd want to make sure that we're doing it the right way,
Yeah.
I have
you
a
know, we're getting the right.
Question about the policy part, if we don't have any expectations and we are just giving it as a gift, would it be easier to say yes? Like if we didn't ask for the first right of refusal?
In
like-
my non-legal opinion, I would say yes. I would run that by our lawyer also, but the way the
Right.
current policy says, basically, if you're asking for anything in return, you know, like Saturdays, an extra hour or something, or the commitment for 2 to 10 years, you know, that is no longer a donation because you have a stipulation on there for use,
Right.
for contracted use essentially.
So if we wanted to just donate it without anything back
If
in,
you said,
we
here,
could
take the
donate
lights,
that.
install them, we'll pay for the install, and then we'll rent the field back from you at the end.
Okay.
My non-legal opinion is, yes, we can do that.
Yeah, I know it's, we all want to, we want to always help as much as we can. We love your feeder programs, we do. It's just there's a little more involved that we need to make sure we're doing it the right way.
Yeah, what he said makes sense, so I was just trying to clarify if we got rid of that policy factor, or if we could
Yeah.
go, okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right, so we'll leave this on as old business then for the next meeting, and hopefully we'll have a little more answers on our end.
What did you say, Mr. Prigo, in terms of Mr. Howard following up? I did write down to request Mr. Kurzweil to be here, or at least have the
Yeah,
questions.
so-
Just gonna look at the.
He's gonna look at options, B, C,
Okay.
D, E,
Yeah.
F, G, H.
And if you want to walk down 4 or 5 with me one day, that's something I would definitely entertain. We can definitely do that. And I can have RJ Electric, I'll do the whole thing. And we can really sit there and have a real powwow about the situation to where I can bring it back and have a conversation with Dr. Allen, which in turn have a conversation with the board and also JP as well. And after that meeting, I'll give JP a nice big email on what we talked about, what we can do. And just go from there, just steps. You know what I mean, just steps.
We want to work with you.
Have more information for you guys to where you.
Yeah, I'd be cautious about having another meeting with RJ. I mean, if it's a matter of going to 4 or 5 and see if physically it can
Okay.
fit into or something. I
Yeah,
would-
that'd be
That's
the first
okay.
step,
Yeah.
yeah.
First
Okay,
step.
all right, sounds good to me. All right, first step is that then. Okay. So if you want to shoot me an email, a time and a date, I'll be there.
Okay.
That's great, thank you, appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you for your
Okay.
time.
Yes,
Thank you.
too.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have the asbestos abatement for the high school. So the reason why I put this on here because I met with TRC last Friday, me and Dr. Andrew, and one of the things that we can possibly get accomplished off the abatement this year, this summer, is that gym wing, that whole wing area. That's something even,
Type of area,
yes.
the whole hallway.
I know me and Bobby even talked about it, and me and Dr. Allen talked about it briefly. I know August 5th is when football starts. Now, he can be here in July, and he can have it done by the second week of August. So we will have to do some
Move around.
moving around a little bit.
But don't we
did that.
have to wait till we find out about the grant first before we can get this going?
Yes.
'Cause
That we
that's,
do.
that
That we
one's
do.
not due until,
Right.
I asked Andrew earlier, and I forget.
Yeah, early end of June.
Why do I think
If it's due the end of June, we're not gonna have an answer by
Right.
I'll
middle
double
of
check.
July or whatever to
Yeah.
get
Greg,
this
what day
going.
did you say about football?
Isn't it August 5th they come back?
Yeah, that's HEDAC.
Okay.
It's right.
I believe they start August 5th, the weightlifting and different things
Well,
like that.
HEDAC
Okay.
organization,
You don't know, Alan,
Say again.
when that grant is.
I don't know offhand.
Yeah, I think it's the end of June.
Are we open, I
Was
guess
that
the
the
question,
Friday?
we have a meeting tomorrow with the abatement.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a meeting tomorrow with the abatement at 12 to 12:30.
So the
So,
question is, are we only doing abatement work if we get the grant? Or are we moving forward and then being able to back
That
share the
was the
percent?
75-25 match. I can't remember which
Yeah.
was which, because we
I
had
think
those
roofing
two
was
big ones.
50-50.
Roofing was 50-50, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
All right,
What's the
but if
timing on the
if
grant?
you make that decision,
75-25, that's wicked.
that's a big difference.
That's a big difference.
Right, and we approved a certain amount already through the board.
Yeah.
So can we, I mean, if the timing doesn't line up, we can, if we have to, we can push this out to next summer.
we
The
got,
majority of the abatement work is going to be next summer.
Yes.
I think it was a matter of getting.
You're just trying to get something done.
See, again, that hallway from the men's bathroom in the high school up by the snack stand down to the double doors. So you would still be able to come in the main entrance and actually get down to the Augs gym and the weight room and the,
on the back end.
and you could get into the gym through that entrance as well.
Is there an issue with doing that? Is there any issues you can think of, like security issues, or are you okay with that?
Now, I would like to get it done in terms of that.
Yeah, I
I mean, as it gets close to HEDAC on the beginning of sports, but that can get all worked around. It's going to happen some summer. It's going to have to
know.
happen.
Yeah, I know.
So,
If they've got to start some of the teams meeting in the middle school, then that's where they got to start this year, and that, or somewhere else, or running with different shifts.
so.
This is also the summer, sorry, it's also the summer pool getting drained.
So that's what I'm gonna find out tomorrow. I'll have that tomorrow.
Is it,
He sent over the contract of everything in it. I reviewed the contract over the weekend, and he didn't give a specific amount strictly for that wing. So that's what I want to find out tomorrow. What's that number gonna be for
Do
the?
you
If it's-
remember what's the number? Like, what's the number? Do we remember?
I don't wanna say 240, because that was something else, that was for the bars, Damn it.
I know, I can't remember either. Too
High
many numbers
school.
going around my head.
I think, no, I don't even wanna spread out numbers. We've been running numbers like
was
crazy.
it 700,000 for the high school kids?
That had to be for the whole thing, not just for the piping itself. That had to be for everything for the high school. That had to be for the floors, the tables, the science tables, all that good stuff.
Yeah, or nice.
No, that's just the 10-year, that's the 10-year facility.
But whatever the cost is,
But it's gonna-
if it's less than or equal to the 25% that we're going to pay anyway, if we get the grant, do we go ahead and do it? Is that what's being asked
Yeah,
right
but we
now?
probably can't do it ahead. We can't spend money and then get the grant.
No,
if I'm
he's
correct.
asking, are we gonna do it with or without the grant?
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I had it as past that in my head.
Okay.
So let's say the whole amount is $1 million.
Mhm.
So we would owe 250,000 of that, and that's not the number, but I'm just
Mhm,
using
gotcha.
the
Mhm.
number. So if the part that we want to do this summer, I had it earlier than when we'll know about the grant, is $250,000. I don't know if that leaves $750,000 for the rest of it. Are we going to be 25%, 75% of?
So we're going to put out another 250
750. Do
once
you know
we
what I
get the
mean?
grant.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be that
Oh.
much.
25% becomes part, the 250 gets
We skip the
deducted.
250.
750,000 becomes the
Oh,
total
I see what
grant.
you're
So let me ask this,
And we
if
pay
coming out of this
25%.
meeting, we can get clarification with Dr. Farina from the grant piece and/or that, A, you have to get the grant before you can spend any of the money. That tells us not to do it this summer, that's what I'm
Yes.
hearing.
Right.
Yeah.
B, if we can begin to spend money upon submission of the grant and backdate it, when and if the grant comes in, with this portion of that, that would make sense to get it going,
Yeah,
Mhm.
because the work's got to get done, and we're just worried about getting grant money or not grant money.
right.
So those are
You
kind
got
of, those are kind of the two scenarios.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
You got it.
So if we
That's
can, if we
it.
can get clarity, and as we're meeting tomorrow and then into the next week, that if.
That we can include that part of it in the grant still if we get the grant.
So
If you get the grant,
backdated.
even if it's after,
Right.
okay.
As long as we're getting paid,
If the answer is,
75%.
don't, if anything you spend before you get the grant, you can't go back and get,
yeah,
then push it off.
Then it's enough.
I agree.
Okay,
that's
I
good.
just need to understand.
Okay.
And we'd use that, we'd have that for an update for our next finance meeting, which is in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we could have that for the board meeting at.
On the June 20th.
end of-
Okay.
Yeah.
June 20th.
That makes sense?
If I can get clarity by Friday, I'll put it in the board update.
Okay,
If I can,
if you do, yeah.
Whenever you get it.
All right. Good, because I'm just thinking, I was thinking back to the middle school and the whole LEED gold thing, and because we moved some dirt around, we didn't get it. We got it, we just get the money that went with it.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, and it was like $2 million.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Wastewater.
Wastewater treatment plant, Marlboro update. We're gonna be doing some work in-house. We identified some things that we're gonna be able to do in-house to keep the water treatment plant up and flowing for next summer until we do an overall renovation of it, where we're totally draining. We're gonna drain it this summer. We're gonna fix some piping work. We're gonna do some other things that we identified. It's not the first time we've done this. So we're gonna put some Band-Aids on it, in-house, facilities crew, and then next summer we'll be ready for,
The full.
yes. So
Okay.
that'll keep us afloat for a year.
Perfect.
Yeah, literally.
And then we have Marlboro Pavilion, PTFS. Is anyone here? Please
They're
come
here.
forward.
Oh, they're here.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Tori Willman, and I'm Green Lane, Pennsylvania. Megan Hathaway. Listen, they did that at a meeting. So.
At the top, Candace Avery.
We are both Marlboro Elementary co-presidents of the PTFS. And, we've partnered with the school board before to do the playground project. Each year we have 2 fundraisers. One of the fundraisers is to go to, all of this stuff that we do for our staff and students. And then the second fundraiser that we do is the coin challenge. And we usually raise around $5,000 a year, and that we consider our capital improvement fund. So we've been kind of sitting on that capital improvement fund for a while, so we came up with, the next project. And what we would like to speak with you guys about today is an outdoor pavilion at the school.
Okay.
We have a presentation.
Oh, well, there you
They have a
go.
presentation?
Oh, that's a good thing, thank you.
Sure.
It's a nice pavilion.
Thank you.
That's a heck of a pavilion. We can't build all that building, sorry. Not this year.
Well, it's okay. I mean, we can, you know, talk through it. We just feel like outdoor space for the kids would be a great idea. You know, promoting fresh air, promoting nature, you know, maybe partnering with the nature center and just providing additional square footage. You know, we've talked with Mrs. Stevens about, you know, different teachers renting the space, you know, just holding the space so that they could bring their classrooms out and do things.
Look good on my screen.
Looks great, right? So that's kind of our plan.
Where?
So the thought process is.
Thank you for understanding me.
Absolutely. The kids go out the furthest door that basically leads right into the playground.
Okay.
So there is green space, there's a pavement, and then to the left of that pavement before you get to the playground. So very connected, covered pavilion, so that rain or shine, you know, the kids wouldn't get very wet leaving from the school to get into the pavilion. So, you know, we you know, use the fundraising efforts that we do with our other fundraiser to do cool stuff for the school. Carnivals, book bingos, that sort of thing. We kind of run that ourselves. We don't, you know, this is big. So we want to do it right. We want to do it in conjunction with you guys. And, you know, we heard everything you said to Valley Soccer about, like, who will maintain it, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but you're at least our school district.
Yeah. And yes, and it would benefit.
I'm not saying that that's a bad thing.
And it would benefit our students. You know, our thought process is to, so the why, by incorporating outdoor classroom schools promote physical activity, sunlight exposure, and fresh air contribute to the improved overall health for our students. If you will go to the next slide.
I think you need to click enable. Yeah. In order to be able to do it.
Basically, the next slide is we have $20,000.
Okay.
I feel, and I don't really have any, you know, full quotes, and I kind of have a project plan in slide 5. It's probably going to be more in the $60,000 to $70,000, you know, category, just based on like square footage and that sort of thing. I mean, we'd love to partner with the school and pay you guys back. I know that that's probably not an option because it sets a precedence for other schools. I just want to throw it out there that that would be great. The other thing that we could do is explain to each builder in summer of 2024. Yeah, so we've raised and allocated $20,000 to assist with this project. Slide 5. Yep. So this summer, we'd love to identify contractors and receive quotes and explain to each builder that we may need to do this project in phases. So maybe it's just the pad, you know, like maybe it's like we get the entire quote and, you know, we build what we have money for, you know? And I mean, our kids are gonna be gone from the school by the time this thing would get built, but we just wanted to bring it to your attention, make sure that you knew we were doing it, hear commentary, and just do it in conjunction with you guys. So summer, that's what Megan and I were gonna spend our summer vacation doing. And then in fall 2024, return to this meeting to review the quotes and start project planning. You know, we'd like to create a board with Mrs. Stevens and some of the teachers at the school to make sure that like our vision is everyone's vision. And then, you know, I know that, I mean, I can try to get permits and that sort of thing, but I mean, we might be, you know, partnering more with Mr. Howard for permits and township approval and all that kind of stuff. And then my thought was hopefully for the spring, start the concrete pad and raise an additional $5 through our coin challenge.
That's fine. So have you thought more about any other possible fundraisers to get the money quicker? Or is it?
I mean, we've
Is it
done
pretty-
other fundraisers. I mean, we are actually going to allocate somebody that we've used.
Yeah, we do have a little bit more in our checking account right now that we haven't used from our main fundraiser that funds our events throughout the year that we have to pull from. So we do have a little bit more than that to contribute, and hopefully after next year, we'll have the same problem that we have too much money and we can put it towards this. The only problem is if we start doing that, we have to cut back on events, and that's going to be a toss-up. Are the parents going to contribute if we're not doing as much for the students throughout the year? So it's going to have to be a give and take.
And it's tough. We did 3 fundraisers last year. We did a shoe fundraiser. I don't know if you guys remember that, but we collected shoes.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
It was like $1,000.
Yeah.
You know, it's
It's a
tough.
lot.
Like,
It's hard to get a good chunk at once.
Yeah. So Coin Challenge we know
Yeah.
is good. The kids really like it, you know, so and these were some of our thoughts and ideas.
I was
Yeah.
Marlboro treasurer, PTFS treasurer for 6 years, so I feel your pain.
So
I
these
know.
are your like prototypes?
Just some ideas that we wanted to, you know, kind of like, it's not fully enclosed or anything like that, but just thinking of like a covered pavilion. I like the glass top one. But I mean, we'd love to just walk away from this meeting like, it's okay if we meet with some contractors and submit some quotes. Or get some quotes.
You may have said this, what will you use it for? Like, what is your,
The
why?
PTFS personally?
Yeah.
Nothing, it'll be for the
Oh,
students.
you
It's a
just wanna,
package, yeah.
you
It's
just
not
think
for
this
our
is good and we
purposes,
should
it's for
have
the
it.
school.
That's
Yeah.
very nice.
This is similar to what Hereford did a year or 2 ago when they replaced some of the playground equipment. They gave us donations.
So did I.
Yeah, so
Marlboro.
Yeah, Marlboro did it maybe like 4 years ago.
That was last
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. Yeah, no, we're not trying to like, I mean, maybe we'll have something out there, but
Might
it's,
set up
that's
a-
fun. It's capital improvements for
And you
Marlboro
said
Elementary.
rent to teachers, and I was like, what does that?
Just sign it out.
Post
Sign it
it.
out.
Okay, I'm
Not
like,
physically
how
rent.
much does it cost? Okay. Oh.
Yeah,
The
lots of
office
parties
building,
there, yeah.
Virtual desks and virtual meeting
Yeah.
rooms to where you have to reserve them in advance if you're doing
Got
all
it.
sites.
Yeah,
at
just a
once.
little
Yeah.
sign up thing. Okay.
No, it'd be nice, like right now kindergarten gets 2 recesses throughout the day. So the older students, you know, 1st through 3rd, they don't get to go outside a second time. But if their teachers could bring them out for half hour, 45 minutes, do a lesson out in the pavilion, we think it would be a great benefit to the students there.
What did Mrs. Stevens have to say about it? Just out of curiosity.
She loves it, proud.
She
We've been
didn't have
working
any
with
other
her.
thoughts of anything else that she was thinking would be, I'm just asking.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
we work in conjunction with her.
Yep, I figured.
Throughout the entire year, so
Yep.
she's absolutely on board.
She's supportive, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
We did get, I believe you guys were talking about the same grant, like when we got the information for the grant, we had basically like a month and we just couldn't pull it together. And we need like school board permission and permits and things like that. Do you guys know which grant I'm talking, you know?
No, I
It was
don't
one of the,
know.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was
One
a
of the-
capital improvement
Yeah.
grant. And we would have loved to do something like that, but it would have required us to be much further down the path than we were
Right.
at the time.
Like grand open up again at any time?
Dr. Rose,
Just out of
Carol, is there
curiosity.
anything that they need from the district if they want to have somebody come out and look at the site and say, yeah, it cost us $20,000 to do an excavation or whatever? Do they need permissions beforehand, notify you beforehand?
You know, I'm figuring.
Well, notification.
So of course, let me know it's a great contractor out there to see
Right.
what's the site. Well, with this particular setup, first of all, I think it's a fantastic idea. It's something that's, you know, very futuristic for the kids, and this is the world that we're going into. My concern is from a facility standpoint, this is from a facility standpoint. Will the public make this into a park in the summertime when no one's around?
That's a good question.
Will I have dogs, will I have people out there barbecuing thinking that's a community event? To where I'm driving past one day and I got 30 people outside having a party. That's what I'm concerned about when I see this, because this is an open space to where anybody can walk up, just like the Marlboro's playground, to where me and Dr. Allen been talking about that as well. Are we closing Marlboro's playground, or we leaving it open? Different things that we're doing, because now dogs are starting to come out. Community, so that's the only thing I'm concerned about. I think it's a fantastic, I think it's beautiful. I think it will actually do wonders for the middle school. I'm just worried about it from a facility standpoint. What I have, like for instance, I got a problem right now where I got kids climbing on the roof at Marlboro looking for balls.
Oh, gosh.
So to where, you know, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to put a gate. You know, the cop pulled me over on the street and said, Mr. Howard, let me show you how they getting up there, which he did. It was on a Saturday.
Oh, gosh.
So what I'm concerned about is, do I have graffiti on there? Do I have people marking it up? So that's the things from a facility standpoint that I'm concerned about.
Yeah, that's the stuff in our neighborhood, like people bring their trash, they don't throw it away, then they want us to maintain and have a trash person come by, and then we have to build trash cans, and if there's graffiti or people put rocks. But, I mean, I don't know that it's any different than any other structure you have outside. You have bleachers, you have fields, you have, you know, so I get what you're saying, but I almost think We already have stuff and we
Yeah, but that's like a picnic
handle.
looking for a
Yeah,
place to
that's-
have.
that's whatever.
I mean, it would be behind the school. It's pretty visible from 29, so I mean,
It's
The
inside,
township
it's
is
inside the
gonna-
new fence though, right?
it would be, well, the fence
Yeah.
extends to right where it would start, yeah.
But it's on the inside,
Yes.
yeah.
One of the things we were thinking about is like, we could enclose it on 3 sides, and then, I mean, we could put a chain up or something and signage and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I was thinking about signage and different things of that aspect, you know, I was thinking about that as well. That's the only problem, I think it's a great idea, I really do, I love it. But I just think that from a facility standpoint, that can turn into something to where it can be very interesting. And then we're spending time cleaning it, fixing it, and then they're upset because, you know, all the money that they invested, all the hard work that they did. I don't know if the public is gonna be so receptive and forgiving as we are when it comes to certain things. That's just me from the outside.
And
I think you have fair points, Greg, and it's definitely something we need to consider, but at the same time, if we do this right, or if we build it the correct way, whatever, I think we can alleviate some of those issues, hopefully.
Yes.
But I think we need to give them the okay to start somewhere.
I agree.
So,
That's really what we're looking for, is to
Right.
walk
And-
away with, yes, we could spend our summer going and doing the legwork. because
and
we don't wanna waste
you
our
might
time.
find out this summer, like, okay, there's no way.
Never
we
mind,
really do
never,
this. It's gonna be
never
like,
mind.
$150,000 or something like that, and it's like,
We have
there
to-
goes that.
Hey, car wash.
Are there,
Car wash, got it.
are there contractors that
Tease about that.
Definitely, I mean, just,
recommend?
yeah, definitely, I'll definitely give
And
it.
I don't know if they have, if they fall into, if the PTFS is funding, if their contractors fall under the same co-stars or legal aspect, and Mr. Bishop's not, able to be here tonight.
That's a good question
If
to
they need to fall under
answer.
those same avenues because they are doing work on district property, but the money's not coming from public money, I don't know the answer to the
Can we
question.
find that out?
We can.
Okay.
And when you guys do have contractors, it's something I definitely want to be a part of.
Absolutely.
Just so, you know, I have an idea to report back to Dr. Allen as well as the board and JP to where I can have a perspective on what's going on. Because the biggest thing, you know, the concrete, water drainage runoff, it's a lot into it. And I need to speak to the contractor to make sure that it is done correctly. Because if it's not done correctly, that will turn into a flood.
Yes.
That concrete pad will be,
You could probably
you will have a thing
start-
of water there, and it will just stay there. So it's a lot of things from the construction side that I have to speak to them about and get their gauge on to make sure they understand where I'm coming from, and at the same time, give you guys what you're asking for.
You could probably, I'm just thinking ahead. If you wanted to take a look at Marlboro Township's, I guess it's in Marlboro Township, just making sure. Maybe look through their zoning and just see what a building permit looks like. And maybe what things that they, just to give you an idea,
You have to
Drainage,
hit a
that's
certain
a-
amount of square footage to end up needing a groundwater runoff
Yep.
Exactly.
evaluation.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
doing this at my house right now.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
But
Yes.
it would be below that 1,500 square feet.
Okay, you'll be below.
Yeah,
that.
that was my next question. How big is that?
That's good. That's
How big
good.
was
So
that?
I like that.
She's the expert.
That's right. That's a good thing.
To be clear, if we give you permission to get estimates, we're not approving the whole project, like, and that's okay with you?
Yeah, we
I
just want
hear
to
you.
start somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do it all and then you guys be like, oh yeah, you can't do that.
No way.
And we wasted our summer doing that.
Yeah.
Similar to the conversation we've had prior with Valley Soccer, this
Yeah.
sounds like it's more in that donation straight, or donation type of piece to that puzzle. You know.
Yeah.
But I think I'm okay with you going out and starting to get bids and get real numbers and put something to it, and then
And how big
come
is
back
it?
in the fall and.
10 by 15?
We would have to measure out the actual space, because there's a pipe that we would have to see where that would come into play. It sticks up, it's like, it's got a cap, I'm not sure.
Is that a light? Is that a light?
I don't know.
There's both.
Isn't there,
There's
is there
there's
a
a-
light in that?
okay.
Oh, that one of those.
It's like a black
lights
there.
that go
box.
So we have to see, because we have to see if we can fit it, or we're going to have to start moving some of them.
Shoot me an email. I'll shoot you guys back some contractors. And then once you have a date set, let me know the date and I'm there.
Let's make sure we touch base with Mr. Bishop as well and
Yeah,
find out that
find
question
out.
in terms of bidding
Maybe
and,
we could ask.
And Dr. Roche, that's just to see if we have to use specific contractors?
yeah, like if the answer is because it's not quote unquote public money, that you can go with anyone, then that's a different conversation than if you have to go, I didn't want to say the word prevailing wage or anything like that, which is going to be, but if it's happening on district property, it may have to go through that. So I don't know the answer, but we'll find that out, because that'll help provide direction.
Yeah,
Quick
for
question.
sure.
Can you show me on?
I'll definitely do
on
my
this
due
map?
diligence on my side.
Oh, sure.
And you guys shoot me that email, I'll be able to
That's
come back with some things for you.
And for the board, not a reason to not consider, but let's think about the implication of all of a sudden this at one school.
That's where audit
another
committee
school.
members
I mean,
are.
just to think about the optics and/or.
Yeah, and the equity of it.
That just,
Definitely.
No.
that's the lens that's there as well. We had that conversation, we did tackle that with the playground.
Yep,
You know,
yeah,
that was
because now
similar to the
3
playground. Again, not a reason to not do it, just
Marlboro, Hartford,
eyes wide open, so we know what the
Yeah, because we
conversation
actually have 3 elementary schools now, so, yeah, we have to watch that too. You all have new playground equipment.
I think the potential is great.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea. It's the word that we're coming to as far as learning and different things in that aspect.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Discussion of presentation on the feasibility study, standing discussion item.
Yep.
Future considerations for turf and track upgrades, as well as the high school gym.
I forgot about that. Done. Oh,
So, just to touch on some of this real quick, I won't be long. I've met with the people who take care of this. I'm in the process of, just on the facility standpoint, getting some information. I did have a couple of people out that met with me and Bobby to walk some things down, to get some designs and different things like that that I can present to you guys. Bobby's going to be a part of this as well. I told Bobby he has to be a part of this because, this is for athletics and I need his voice and his opinion, and as well as you guys' opinion. So I'm going to, when me and Bobby looking to come to you guys will be in the beginning of September with some of the things that we've been working on this summer, just to show you guys the layout and what we're looking at, and to see any suggestions that you may have, any colors that you may have, anything that you want to change, any things that you want to add, just to start the ball rolling.
Are we talking about the turf or the gym?
Talking about all of it, turf and
All of
gym.
it.
Turf and gym, yes, yes, turf and gym, yes. So it's gonna be a nice big presentation for you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
we're looking to have that in the fall, no later than September, October. And then, we go from there as far as getting us for the October, November, December. Hopefully by January, we can have a decision and go from there. What we gonna do.
This summer, they're going to do another test on the turf to give us.
See how we are.
See how it is, that type of thing, which
I
will
know it's
help.
overdue.
Well, no,
Yeah.
last summer, he basically told me, we're done. That he made, and I'm not gonna tell you exactly what he said. He said,
Don't tell me. I don't
well, he
know.
said basically his name is on this, and, because he works on them, and he's very known around other schools and different things like that. We have to get it
So
done.
we'll have that report at the end of this, towards the middle, end of the summer to give us some
Okay.
direction. And we'll go from there, at least on the 2 turf fields as well as the track itself. And then there's an ongoing discussion about the gym floor.
Yeah, I know we're on our last leg on that.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I'm pretty sure that's a few $100,000, so.
It's gonna be interesting, it's gonna
Hopefully next year when we get into this standing item, we continue to take a look at that feasibility study
Yes.
on a grander scale.
Yep.
Great.
My goal of having this every meeting to make progress.
A little bit here and there, a little bit here and there. Okay.
All right.
real quick, when he walked past my office last week and he said he was putting this on there, I had the biggest smile on my face. And he told me, don't get too excited, don't get too excited. And then he just darts off.
Smell
And he darts off on me, it's like a thief
I
in the
think
night.
what I've learned also is you want to make sure that it's on many times so that people aren't
It softens
surprised.
the blow.
Well, no, but well, no one's, you haven't talked about that in a while.
Right.
Well, no,
So,
it's-
it's
You're right.
still there.
Yep.
Not that I would hold you to this, but do you have like I don't know, a ballpark? What might the turf be
Bazillion.
like between this number and this number? I don't normally
it all-
replace turf in my life, so I have no frame. Is it $5,000? Is
No,
it
it's probably
$3 million?
It's probably 1 point.
Yeah. 1.3.
Okay, one
Oh,
point
see, I-
something for turf.
Other districts that I was at the facilities meeting, I learned a lot over there
Turf
and talking to them guys.
And the gym
A lot of
floor?
people did recently new turfs, renew this, renew that, and
Does it have to be new, or is there a redo?
Don't redo, Ms. Melody, don't redo.
You know what I mean, like the
Repark
turf
it.
field, is there, because I always,
No, you can't say the top and.
I know you can't.
You can cut it, they have a new machine.
No.
I just don't know if, I mean.
The track
when you
sometimes
put
can be
it to-
resurfaced.
When you put it down the first time, isn't there under infrastructure?
That's different, the first time, once we get a new one in there.
Ugh.
But now with this old one we have, me and Bobby just, well, facilities just paid for repairs on the track last summer. I replaced some repairs on there, so I paid for that. And I met with the gentleman, he said, listen, I can't keep doing this. This ain't gonna work.
I know, I get it.
Just have to ask.
I get it, I just have to ask. I'd rather say it out loud.
Yes, Ms. Melody.
So basically, it sounds like the underlayment of the field and the
Yes.
track will need to be renewed,
Yes.
Yeah.
replaced.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're almost doing a new
Almost the
installation.
same.
in a
That's
sense,
really
just so you can understand it.
That's a lot uglier than.
I remember reading an article on it a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
forget where, but
All right, let's rock through.
So we'll go through business, the Proasis contract renewal. This renewal, I gave you guys a copy of everything. This renewal is basically district-wide as far as chilled water, water tower. This is our water treatment to keep everything nice and clean.
Oh, okay.
Keep our boilers running clean, keep our towers running clean, our chillers running clean. It's something that we've had in the district forever.
Just out of curiosity, you remember what it was last year?
I can find out for you.
Okay.
To be honest with you, these numbers look the same. Because when I got on board, I remember we had to re-sign this. And for
Yeah,
that
I remember doing it last year.
3,300, it still looked about the same. And it didn't really go up too often, but I will get
I
you.
mean, I would have expected it
Exact
to,
number.
but if it's.
But not
if
too
it's-
much though. This number right here was around 3. I was looking for it to jump to 4, to be honest with you. And when I saw it didn't jump to 4, I was very happy about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very happy about that. So,
So
but
you're
I'll
looking
double
to
check
put
on
this,
that.
you're looking to put this on the June 20th?
Yes,
agenda?
June 20th, yes, for approval, yes. So we can keep moving forward with our treatment. We
Yeah.
want no interruptions there
Yeah.
because then we're in a whole nother,
No.
yes.
We need a motion for that, Alan?
I mean, it's
Make it
just
official.
3 or 4.
Okay, we're good.
I said so.
Yeah.
And then we got another contract we have coming up, is the advanced protection contract with the high school athletics. Their number still hasn't changed, it's $26 an hour. Only time that we will pay any type of premium rates or anything like that will be the weekend. So on the weekend, we would jump to, the rate would be, holidays is $39 an hour. For any type of weekend rate or anything like that, we're looking around, like it says, $39 an hour, yes.
It's 39.
Yep, 39.
So this is unarmed security
Yeah.
for
Athletics.
additional
Football games.
football games? or-
Basketball games.
So this is event security.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That's what you see at the basketball games, you know, some of our unarmed guards there, yeah.
This is just renewal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, same thing
Okay.
with the voices, yeah.
And is the price different?
No, it's actually pretty much stayed the same.
Significantly different? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much stayed the same.
We're okay for that on the 20th?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
The high school admin office remodeling due to the fact of sports is coming into the high school. What was it? ESPN Sports.
No, esports.
Esports, I apologize.
Oh.
So they're-
ESPN.
So they're
Wow,
taking,
yeah.
so they're taking our security office, where Mr. Blake sits at with the security team, Farmers Point, and we're moving it over to the high school admin office.
Okay.
Mr. Howard has a different take on it. I wouldn't say we were taking it from him.
Yeah,
We're
that's right.
we're upgrading our security to move Mr. Blake into the main office area, into where Mrs. Cenovitis is. Next to Mr. Amsler, there is a space in student services. That was where, there was a support person who is now in the booth down
Okay.
below. So
Oh.
all security is out of the booth. And they're gonna, Mr. Howard's team is putting up a wall to make Mrs. Cenovitis a new office. So Mrs. Cenovitis' office will be right next to Mr. Amsler's office on the pupil services side. Mr. Blake's is currently Mrs. Cenovitis' office, which kind of bridges the gap between the main area and the back area by Mr. Amsler. And that freed up space for esports.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Very happy with that.
And that was budgeted in the esports.
That was, the wall and stuff is not
It's just
budgeted in
the wall.
esports. That's more, the esports was for that room.
Yeah, that's totally separate.
The connections.
Okay.
So
There's really no approval at this, you're just,
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah, yeah.
So that should be happening this summer.
Yeah, that's what we're having this summer. We're gonna do a little bit of painting in there too, just a little bit.
Does the board have to go and paint?
Well, we always can help, you know.
I will hire
I'm not a painter now, but I can help.
I can paint.
And then the last thing is AC Lions agreement for the high school, and that's for the 3 boilers that we installed last year. Now, I wasn't going to renew them on this year due to the fact that we just installed that, but however, we're gonna stick with status quo. We're gonna keep our maintenance contract with AC Lions due to the fact of it's a peace of mind. To where if I know if something happened to that boiler, I can call them out at 2 o'clock in the morning and they can take care of it for us.
Yeah.
We're a priority, we're a customer, and that's important when it comes to that. I know it's
We
a
have
new
any
system.
discount from them doing all the work at the middle school?
Actually, they are giving us a discount, yes,
Yeah.
they are. Because that's a discount on this, and also Marlboro gonna be giving a discount when they quote that out too for PM.
Okay.
So, because HD Lions did the boiler work at
Yeah.
Marlboro as well.
Yeah.
It's in the budget.
Yeah. So this is something that we do every year.
It's a renewal.
Yes, a renewal, that's all it is.
Right, well, you said you were considering not renewing with them.
Well, not renewing for boilers this year because they're brand new
They're
boilers.
new.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean? So for you coming there to do a PM
They'll
in
get
my
it now
eyes,
or they'll get it later.
they'll get it now or get it later, exactly. Pete.
Yeah.
So I really keep the relationship with them to where, you know, because in my eyes and my lens, you know, it's a little bit different, so, yeah.
Let's move forward to 620.
Yep, so move that to 620 as well, sir. And that's all I have.
All right, so
That
we'll
was a
move on
lot.
to public comment. Any members of the public?
What did you decide about the spot we talked about next to the walkway?
We're gonna take care of that, Ms. B, this summer.
Okay.
That's all for the summer. I don't wanna mess with that stuff right now.
And are you getting more of those cones for a tribe to come out further?
That we talked about on the lacrosse field?
No. I believe we got new
Yes.
cones.
Yes, we got new
And
cones.
we
Bobby's
shortened up, right?
Bobby's ordering 5 more.
Has he, okay.
Yes, he is. I gave him all the information during the week.
That's
Yes.
it.
All right, Mr.
Okay. Any committee member comments? Hearing none, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned. See you in September. Thank you for this.
At the high school. No, at the high school.
Yes, high school, at the high school, right? In the library, we'll set it up.
Yeah, at the high
Oh,
school.
yeah, we'll talk about that. I'll be in communication with you guys. All right?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get together, do a quick lunch or something, just discuss it in here, or